Good afternoon, students. As you know, we started chapter democracy in our last class. I hope whatever was covered in that video is clear to you all. Before I proceed, I would like to recall the important points which were covered in this chapter that we have done. So, we started chapter democracy. First of all, what is democracy? A government which is of the people, for the people, and by the people is called democracy. Since it is elected by the people, so role of the citizens is very important. In India, we follow representative democracy. Now, what is representative democracy? A representative democracy is a system in which people elect their own representative to run the government for them. Right? So, this is called representative government. How we do that? We do that by elections. How the elections take place, that also I told. There are different parties who give their names, who offer their names for the formation of the government, and the people who are 18 of the age or above 18, whom we call adult, and the right to vote, we have given a term as universal adult franchise. Through this right, the people cast their vote in the favor of the person whom they want to see in the government body, and the one who will get the majority finally will make the government or form the government. As we have read that how it is very important for the people of the country to perform their duties, especially for the casting of the vote, very genuinely, very sincerely, because if they will choose a wrong person just because the person belongs to their religion or their caste, then ultimately they are not thinking for the welfare of the country, they are becoming biased. So we should not cast our vote by influencing all these things. We should cast the vote for the favor of the masses, for the people, for the country's welfare. Now let us begin our today's topic, that is formation of government. How the government is finally formed. The party that wins the majority of seats in the legislature forms a government. Representative democracy means the rule of the majority. As I already told, in India, we practice representative democracy. What is representative democracy, beta? Representative democracy means the rule of the majority. When we have elections, during those elections, people cast their vote according to their desires or according to their liking to the party. And in all the parts of the country, after the voting is done, and when the voting is counted, the people or the party who has got the majority means those who have got maximum seats or maximum vote, they will finally form the government. So the party that wins the majority of seats in the legislature forms the government. The government should represent the largest number of people. Means it should not be that just few people like them, so they are making government, but rather those who have been liked by most of the people in the country, they will form the government. Many times one single party does not get a clear majority. This example I gave you in your last chapter also, beta. It happens sometimes that single party is also not able to get that majority which is needed to form the government. As I gave you example that for example, that it is important if there are suppose total 30 seats, out of 30 seats it is important to have or to win minimum 15 seats to form the government. But unfortunately, the government who is coming in power or who has won the maximum seats, even that government, even that party could not win 15 seats. Rather, they have won 12 seats, for example. Now they need more 3 seats. They need more 3 parties. So what can be the solution for that? They can request the other parties to join them, or sometimes those who are the independent candidates, they themselves can join these parties so that they may form the government. So in that case, a group of parties combine to form the government. I have already told, suppose there are other 2-3 parties or one government who has no say otherwise, who has no power otherwise, but they just give their hand, they give their support to that party who was lacking in making the government. They will join their hands with that party so that they may form the government. This is known as coalition government. When more than one party is needed or used to form the government, then it is called the coalition government. Alternatively, the political party with the largest number of seats can form the government if it receives the support of other parties and independent candidates. This point I have already cleared. The party which wants to join them or the independent candidates, they can join them, but ultimately the party in majority will ultimately make the government, right? Now comes opposition. Now what is opposition mean here in the government? Beta, I have already told there are many parties who give their names to form the government. Now one party has already won and formed the government. But there is another party who wants to make the government, but because they could not reach to the majority, so they have been defeated. They have lost. Now the lost party or the defeated party is called opposition party. Okay, so the party, suppose in India, let it be the example of Punjab. In Punjab, there was one Akali Dal, one Congress, and one AAP. This time we have Congress in power. That means majority of the seats in Punjab were won by the Congress party. So they have formed the government, whereas AAP and Akali Dal are in opposition. Okay, I hope this point of opposition is clear to you. So opposition, the parties that are in the minority form the opposition. The minority also of the also has an important role to play in the government of the country. Now what is minority, beta? Those who were less in number, those who could not win the number of seats as are won by the winning party. So that's why they are called the minority. Okay, the minority also has an important role to play in the government of the country. It's not that because they are defeated, so there is no importance of the losing party. No, rather they are also very, very important. How they are very important? Both the majority and minority party are meant to cooperate and work together for the welfare of the people. The majority cannot ignore the opinion of the minority, and it is the duty of the minority to support measures and policies that will benefit the country. Here is a point that you need to understand. Of course, the party in power is that one who has got the majority, who has won the maximum seats. But the role of the minority also is great, as they have to cooperate with the party in power. They have to support all the policies which are offered by the party in power, but at the same time those should be in the benefit of the country. One point that they have not mentioned here, I would like to tell what is the main role of the opposition basically. Now beta, in your class, suppose there are two groups. One group is of the monitor and the other group is of that person who wanted to become the monitor, but because he has not got the power, so he could not become the monitor. Now the one who is monitor, he is always favoring his own people, his own friends. What will be the role of the person who has lost to become monitor? He will reveal the facts to the teacher that our monitor is always favoring his own friends. He is not checking the notebooks properly or diaries properly of that persons who are his friends. Or sometimes that when the lunch break is done and his friends were still creating indiscipline or shouting, he has not written their names. So this is done by you people in the classes, no? This is the role of the opposition party. In short, when something wrong is being done by the party in power, It is a responsibility of the opposition party to bring all the faults or the flaws of the party in power and to make the people aware that this is going wrong. Okay, now let us talk about the features of the democracy. There are certain conditions essential for the successful working of a democratic government. It is not small thing to run the government successfully, is not a small thing. We need so many conditions to make it successful. Number one, awareness among citizens. This is the most important part, that the citizens of any country or especially the democratic country needs to be very very aware. What is the meaning of aware? That they should be always alert, up to dated what is happening in their country. In a democracy, the people must be aware of their rights as well as their duties. They should also keep themselves informed about the functioning of the government. Political awareness is an important condition of the democracy. So this point I am telling again and again, students, that it is really very very important that we need to be aware, we need to be alert about the functions of the government. Today, if we are always talking about the corruption, if we are always talking about the failure of the policies, who is the actual responsible person behind it? It is we, the people, who have actually made this government. Because we started ignoring all the faults done by the government, so the government realized that we can do anything wrong to the people and they will not speak anything. So number one, in a democratic government, in a democratic country, it is very important for the citizens to be aware of their rights as well as their duties. Now, if we are not aware about the rights, how we will raise the objections if the government is doing wrong? And as far as the duties are concerned, this I have always told, how we need to be very very dutiful. We need to be honest, loyal towards our duties. That first of all, when we are casting the vote, we need to see that we will not give the vote just because the person is from our religion, from our caste, or from our city. So all this is you can say duty. We will not cast the vote just because the person has offered us some bribe. And there are so many other things. We need to follow the rules and regulations, we need to respect the constitution. So this is our duty. Enlightened and wise leadership. What is this? It is assumed that enlightened voters are led by wise and enlightened leadership. Now what is enlightened means? Enlightened means those who are fully aware and informed, those who have knowledge. So it is assumed, it is believed that enlightened voters, those who are informed voters, up to date voters, aware voters, they are led by wise and enlightened leadership. If the people who are electing, they are not enlightened, will they be able to elect the enlightened representatives? No. So we need to be enlightened. Sound public opinion. What is sound, beta? Strong or right. So we should have a strong or right public opinion. A democratic government is based on public opinion if sound public opinion is formulated means made, and properly expressed. The government cannot ignore or harm the rights of the people. What is public opinion? The opinion of the people on issues and matters of public concern and welfare is called public opinion. Means if government is doing anything, it should not be done blindly. It should not be followed blindly. If we feel there is something wrong, we need to raise voice. Definitely we should raise the voice. It may not be the opinion of all the people. It may generally be the opinion of the majority of the people. At times, even a minority may express an opinion which may be in the interest of the entire community. Now, these days we are talking about the corona, we are talking about so many cases, wearing of the mask, sanitizer, or we are even listening the treatment in the hospitals is not given good. So all these are the points that we need to aware, as well as we need to raise the objections also if we find something wrong. We should not just remain quiet just because we cannot do anything. We always give up the things with this thought that what alone I can do. Beta, alone everything can be done. If you alone will take the step, then only you will be able to make a group. And when a group is formed, the group will finally create the associations. Associations will further move. So, point is, we should always be aware. We should have a sound opinion, and we should have the guts to speak if something wrong is happening. Then is tolerance. What is the meaning of the tolerance? In simple words, we need to tolerate something. A democratic government is carried on by the majority. We know this. But the minority must be allowed to have its say. Of course, majority party is forming the government. It doesn't mean there is no value of minority. They should be also given importance. They should be also given power. An intolerant majority can destroy the democratic structure based on liberty and equality. I will explain you this in simple words. Now suppose when the election was taking place, the party or the election, those who were coming and asking are requesting us for the votes, at that time they have committed us for so many things. But as soon as they formed the government, all their commitments just went in air, which is a very common practice done by the politicians. So, it is the right of the minority party in such situations to speak against. It is a right that if something wrong is done by the government, the minority party should have the right to speak. It should not be that because they are not the government, so they cannot speak anything. It is essential that the majority has the freedom to rule and the minority has the freedom to express its opinion. If there is no one to find out their mistakes, if there is no one to speak about their drawbacks, then they will start doing their own rights. They will start imposing the things on the public, right? So it is important to have the power or importance of the party of minority. Then comes disciplined citizens. Citizens should have self-control. They should have the ability to give up self-interest for the welfare of the society. Citizens should have the ability to accept the view of majority even if they disagree. This is a simple point, that even there are some situations when most of the people do not agree, but if it is for the welfare of the public, it is for the welfare of the country, then we should also follow the discipline in accepting the laws or the rules by the government. Discipline in political parties is also needed. If parties are well organized and disciplined, the elections will be smooth and the government will function efficiently. Efficiently means very effectively. Political parties should work to promote national interest. Their purpose of working should be that the nation should grow. They must not be organized on parochial, parochial or communal consideration. Beta, what is parochial? Parochial is very narrow. So they should not be narrow in their thinking. What does it mean here, narrow in the thinking? They should not encourage communalism, casteism, or narrow regionalism. That means the government who has made the party who has made the government, they should not be narrow thinking. They should not have the narrow thinking. Suppose the government who has formed, the party who has formed the government, that belong to, let it be Sikh community or Hindu community or Muslim community. It should not be that just because the Sikh community has formed the government, so they should only promote Sikhism. They should only support the people who believe in the Sikh religion. Similarly, if someone has formed the government who is from the Hinduism, so they should not support all the wrong things of the Hinduism. So in this way, they should not be considering encourage communalism, casteism, or regionalism. Right, beta? Social and economic equality. This should be also very, very important. Society should be free from narrow considerations of caste, subcaste, regions, or languages. All sections of society should be equal partners in the development of the community. None should be denied the basic necessities of life. There should be equal economic opportunities. This is something that we all know we have. There is no that we cannot do this and that just because we belong to this caste or that caste or this religion or that religion. We all have equal opportunities to raise our economic conditions. Next part I will explain you in next video. Okay.